It's me, Tara Strong, aka Miss Minutes for Bama Geeks. I hope you're ready to watch, and if you don't, I will have to prune you. Stay on your sacred timeline.
And a wonderful Sunday evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us live. How are you?
Hello. We're back. We're all four together
All
again.
four. Reunited, and it feels so good.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Look at that.
yeah.
Mini
Brock and
concert.
Jess had to go watch some wrestling.
Of course. Because that's our life.
Well,
Yeah, it was. We've been ribbing Brock pretty hard in our member exclusive and beforehand because he kind of left me and Bo in charge without the technical ability. I mean, I do 40 hours plus of web development, but even then I couldn't figure out how StreamYard worked to do the intro videos and stuff. And so me and Bo were trying to figure it out like beforehand, and you go back and watch, you can tell it was pretty funny.
Yeah, the inmates were running the asylum that night.
hey, you guys did great.
It's fine. It was fine.
And a hello and a welcome to our good friend Shane. He
Hey
says,
Shane,
don't sing too much as the overlords will get on to you.
No.
Yeah, we're trying to copyright strike ourselves. Kind of like that Tales of the Crypt commercial y'all played. That video's not getting monetized.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's commercials, we can't do it anyway.
it's all right.
Well, I'm Brock Parker. That's my wife, Jessica.
Hi.
And, of course, Kevin Gardner down below, and then Bo Bearden.
Greetings.
We thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really didn't come up with a solid topic for this stream. So we're just like, hey, it's finally October. It's our favorite month. We love this time of year. So let's get poetic and nostalgic about things that mean a lot to us throughout the Halloween season and in October. I will tell you two things that are very important to us. Friday Night Frights.
Yeah, Friday Night Frights.
Dr.
over
Willie
there.
Murder Me and Nurse Connie.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Their season has started, so watch fnn.com.
Mm-hmm.
Is how you can look up Friday Night Frights. So far they've already done 2 episodes in their new season. So
in a past episode, we reviewed a movie filmed here in Alabama called Hide and Creep.
It's a classic, and it's Brock and Jess's favorite.
Well, I have to bring this since we're in October and we're talking about all things horror and everything else. Hide and Creep has some scenes in it you definitely don't want your kids to see. And if you remember in our review of this movie, at the very beginning, this guy falls out of a tree and he missing his pants.
yeah,
He has no pants on.
He
I
just
was
got
not-
abducted by aliens.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
By the way.
And well, they showed him without his pants. So I was like, Friday Night Frights, they did that for their first episode. And I was like, okay, they're putting this on YouTube. How are they going to do this? And so when the guy fell out of the tree, thankfully they censored it using Willie's face.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yes.
He was laying down sans pants and just a big.
And it was a marked improvement, let me tell you.
It was so much better. I appreciated their version
Yeah.
very much.
Oh man, that's great. I love it.
Yeah, so definitely go show Friday Night Fright some love and respect and everything else. We tried to get them on again for this episode, but they, as you can imagine, being the spooky season, they're very busy.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping maybe we can get them on, kind of recap season 3, maybe around the 1st of November or so, once they wind down a little bit. But yeah. Love those guys. We spent a lot of time with them at Alabama Comic-Con a couple of weeks ago and just had a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, love them so much. It's so much fun. Well, like I said, we don't have anything really rock solid as far as a topic outside of just kind of, talking about Halloween traditions and memories and nostalgia. What you got?
Well, I mean, look, granted, before we get into the Halloween stuff,
Yeah.
we have a particular non-Halloween thing that we need to mention.
Go ahead.
We mentioned at the end of our member exclusive, and it's nothing Halloween related, but it is awesome. and it has to do with SpaceX.
Yeah.
You guys ready for this? I don't know if anybody watches, Twitter, X, whatever it is, but SpaceX just did a launch, and they actually caught the big booster with the chopsticks, which
On
was
the
like
tower.
on the tower with the first try, and it was perfection. And it was just like, I mean, we're talking. Imagine if Werner von Braun was alive today and he saw that, he would be like, yeah, it's 50 years too late, but that's great that we're there. We really love it. So I thought that was a phenomenal achievement, and you could tell listening to the folks at SpaceX when they were cheering. The cheer got like Alabama football, well, at least pre Vandy
Yeah.
Alabama football levels.
Alabama, Georgia game.
But like the
Yeah.
deafening roar, it got to that level because you could tell there were people at SpaceX that were just like, yeah, we didn't think that was going to happen, but it did, and we're excited.
It happens.
I don't get laid off. Yeah.
Oh, you got that. You got the comet that
Yeah.
came through last night.
I think so.
That people caught, and then you had the Northern Lights situation again. So there's a lot going on in the sky lately.
So many people shared that photo. The photos, man, it was nuts. My whole Instagram was flooded with it. Facebook was flooded with it. I was like, you know what? When I went outside my house, I looked north, and there are trees, and it's
Yeah.
uphill. So it's trees. So I was like, I'm
Yeah.
going to live vicariously through all the rest of you.
Yeah.
That's
my
great.
first go around, I didn't see nothing. So this time, I graciously didn't even step outside.
We saw them the first time it happened this year, but we haven't seen it. We didn't get a chance to. I mean, we had a little bit, it was a
tiny.
little purple,
Tiny.
a little bit of grimace.
I
Yeah.
want to say, where did I see? It was on Twitter or somewhere, like up in Maine. They had like a purplish pink looking
Oh, yeah.
sky with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I have
beautiful.
quite a few folks that I work with up in Michigan. And we have at least one guy that was up in the UP and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And
Uper.
yeah, and he got some insanely good photos. Like
Nice.
it was pretty much like it was like a full aurora, had all the different colors and everything, and it's like that just never happens that well down past a certain parallel. So that was incredible. And I mean, even here, obviously, if you're in Alabama, you no doubt you saw at the very least we were getting red. We got some red.
That was a Crimson Tide, boy.
Yeah, baby.
Well, speaking of seeing things on social media, make sure you check us out on social media at Bama Geeks everywhere. The plug is over. Go ahead, Bo.
I was gonna say, I know this is not on topic of what we're talking about, but I wanted to bring it up with us all being band geeks. Went to my son got to see his first high school marching band performance this Friday.
Yeah.
And he really enjoyed it. I said there is, of course, it was in Alabama. Went to a good friend. His son marches in. Well, I mean, like I said, it's he marches at Hillcrest as a high school. Performs in their band. They had a good show, and then I got to see Thompson High School, which that's the crazy thing about it. Last time I was in this stadium where I saw them, I was in marching band myself. That was like eighth grade, the only time we went there. But like,
Wow.
it was really cool. Like that, maybe what you got me thinking was because Thompson, their theme was all space stuff. Like they opened with the what was it theme from Interstellar. One point they played the '60s style Star Trek. They played the ET theme. Like it was really good. Like heads up if anybody's like I said, Hillcrest, they had a great band. It was like, oh, I'm trying to remember what all they did. It was because they did theirs after halftime because they did the recognizing the seniors at halftime. But either way, sorry, it was really cool though.
No.
And friend of the podcast and fellow Alabama Ghostbuster, Allison, she had posted up something a couple of weeks ago. One of the local around the Birmingham area, one of the high school bands was playing Ghostbusters stuff for their halftime show.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
telling
like-
you, we're trying to get our Ghostbusters marching band together.
Yeah,
One day.
yeah, it was wild.
Just-
Like, go ahead. It's one thing that was crazy with me is like wild with technology, like cool things they did with like the marching band. They had I think they were doing the opening from Interstellar, but they had some wireless like the ring cams like you have on your cameras on their heads, like and they turned on. It was kind of cool. Like I was like, that's some stuff we would never be able to do when I was back in the 90s.
No kidding.
Yeah, but did they catch a trombone with some chopsticks?
No, but yeah, that's not a bad idea. I do
You see
remember.
him with like the majoress with two batons, like trying to catch a flying trombone.
Well, my trombone caught a few batons while I was marching a couple times. So
Yes. I will never forget. We had in band. I think I was in like maybe 10th or 11th grade, and we had this routine that we were doing one year where the majority of us got in line, and the entire trombone section got in a line, and then we had this routine where the evens would go down, would bend down, and then the odds would come up, and they would swing their instrument to the side, and then come back, and then it would go up like this, and they would do like this.
Yep.
Can you imagine how many trombones got busted with that?
That's some chaos.
It was so bad because if you had somebody that got off, you would collide.
Yep.
Somebody that didn't go down. That was, I was asking our band director there. I was like, "Are you really?" I mean, because back in the day, it was Nuncie's. Nuncie's music was the big. I was like, "Are you getting kickbacks from Nuncie's?"
Yep.
Because I mean, they're gonna have to. I mean, we had 3 trombones that year that had to go in and get the slide straightened back out because they were jammed up because they collided with another instrument. It was nuts.
That's another future fun topic. We need to do the marching band memories.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, dude! I have so many. That's nuts.
Shane says, did they also have a walking monolith when they played the end?
No, but they had a big giant like recreated rock that the trumpet player got on top of and played. Like it was an interesting show. Like I'm sure nowadays in the modern era, you could probably look up their halftime show on YouTube. I'm sure there's some parent that's uploaded their kids' halftime show on there.
Oh, heck yeah.
There's a YouTube channel called 8 to 5 that you can go and watch that does a lot of more of the urban bands.
Yeah.
But they also will occasionally drop a high school band and stuff on there that's really good, and they do a really good job with usually like shorts and stuff like that. It's some really impressive stuff on there.
Yeah, it was a good feeling. I got out there and, like I said, got to hearing the music again. I was like, man, I need to go to a competition one day just to sit and watch. It brought a lot of good feelings going back to that.
Oh,
So what instrument is your son gonna play?
I'm not. I'm hoping he gets into marching band, but it's one of those things like I want him to do it himself. I'm not going to be one of those parents like, hey, I did this, I like this. You got to do it.
You
No.
got to be in the band, boy.
Just you know.
That's your dream. It's your dream, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Uh,
I mean, I've corrupted him with my music. So far, his music taste is in line with mine. But you know.
So is he listening to Disturbed yet?
Yeah, he does. He
Really?
likes
Wow.
Disturbed. Yeah.
Nice.
Disturbed. We listen to Rob Zombie, and he knows a few of the Limp Bizkit songs I'll let him listen to. So
Yeah.
on top of
That's
like,
wild, man.
my music taste is all over. I love my music taste. It's terrible.
Everyone's music taste is terrible. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, me.
Yeah. Sorry to me to throw the podcast off topic.
This
there.
is just a classic Bama Geeks episode where we're all over the place, and we love it.
Yeah. Yeah. But we do want to hit on October and Halloween stuff tonight. Kind of, I was in the shower this morning. I'm like, why don't we call this Sentimentally Spooky?
Sentimental.
Good title.
spooky.
Yeah, just why not? Just talk about Halloween's past, because we'll bring this up in the Christmas episode. But just go ahead and show what's sitting next to you again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
we're talking about because I want to reminisce about some old Halloween decorations and stuff that we used to have. But we got this at an estate sale the other day.
So we have been busy. We have yet to put out the first Halloween decoration in the Parker household, but we have a Santa.
We got a vintage blow mold Santa from an estate sale. So yeah, we're ready for Christmas, not for Halloween yet, which is a shame. We usually have things up by now, but
Christmas tree cakes in the freezer and blow mold Santa in the living room
It's
right
a
now.
blow mold Santa with demonically blue eyes.
Yeah. He's in great shape.
Oh, he's in
he is
beautiful
in
shape.
fantastic shape.
all right, this
Yeah.
is Halloween. Go ahead and put them back down.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
All right.
is Halloween. This
Exactly.
is Halloween. Yeah.
And Shane said, "Cannot be your taste of music cannot be worse than his. This is so random."
Well, I mean,
Hey.
look, Shane, we've established, like I said, everybody has crappy taste in music. Because the thing is, have you ever had that situation where you're really digging a song or you're really digging an album, and then you go and you play it for somebody else, and they're just kind of like,
Yeah.
You're like, you mean this didn't change your life too? And it's just, it doesn't hit, it hits people at different times. Like they could listen to that music in 10 years and it changes their life. You know, that's just the way music is. So it's like, it's kind of like everybody has crappy taste in music because it just never, yes.
Yeah,
No, you don't let
it gets way too hot.
Wait till it's 85 on Christmas, like it likes to be down here.
Yeah.
Well, no, you just keep the light bulb. You guys need to modernize the light bulbs and just put an LED one in there instead.
We do
so you
have
don't
one.
Worry
Yeah,
about that. Oh,
yeah,
really?
there's an LED
Okay.
bulb. Yeah, we went ahead and replaced that so it wouldn't be hot.
Yes.
Yeah. Vintage Santa with upgraded parts.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that reminded me, you know, in Alabama, growing up in the 80s, you know, you had some parents who would not decorate for Halloween. You know, it was satanic and all this other.
Oh no, that's still a thing.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah. I'll wait till we did my story.
Okay. Well, my parents, when I was really, really young, we had great Halloween decorations. I mean, we had like a blow mold witch. It was a flat like panel, but it was a witch that you could hang up on the front porch. We had what else? Mom and Dad would put brooms out, and they had a plastic black cauldron and stuff. They would all put it on the front porch. But as I started to get a little older, they had a change of heart and ditched it. So I really miss the old Halloween decorations. So
Yeah, I do too. And you know, and I see, you know, the vintage stuff out at the, you know, the Pickers malls and antique malls and everything, and they're just the price on them is not friendly. But
yeah,
I would love to just like we have the Santa. One of my goals is hopefully maybe to acquire some of this old retro decorations like that.
Dude, we keep going back to Christmas, but I don't even. You know, we're gonna have to talk about this some more. But I mean, I'm also the guy who paid an exorbitant amount of money for literally a Christmas tree topper years ago. So I understand the vintage stuff goes for a lot of money. But the thing is if you really like it and it's something that you really want, just get it, man. I mean, it's whatever. You know, you're gonna enjoy it.
The thing is that we've said this before on the podcast. Brock and I do not live in a house that is decorate, as far as outside goes, is not really decorator friendly, and I don't trust a lot of the people that live around here either. So yeah, those paper craft ones, I like those, but also just like much like the Santa, I like to find some blow mold like pumpkins and things like that too. Yeah.
Well, this house does not have an electrical outlet on the outside, so we'd have to run an extension cord from the inside out if we wanted to do like Halloween lights and inflatables and stuff. And so that's the big reason we don't do outside.
And then you get to play with snakes again.
No, we'll
Well, we're talking decorations. Can I bring this up? Because whenever I think of Halloween decorations, especially from my youth, this right here, I'm going to throw this up here. This thing right here. I associate this. This was at our school. This was in our lunchroom every year. The entire time I was in elementary school. Like when I think Halloween decorations, these are the things that are ingrained in my brain till the day I die. It's something so simple, but yet it's something I always remember.
Yeah, we never had the skeleton head on the skull on fire. We never had that, but we had the scarecrow, we had the witch, the pumpkin and the cat, and the skeleton. And the skeleton was always fun because kids would come and, you know, if the limbs were not taped down, then they got put in precarious positions.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say, you know, there was times.
Okay, I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Yeah,
he says it was in every lunchroom.
It was our school too.
I can also agree. I had seen those before, but I agree. I had never seen the skeleton, probably because it was deemed too demonic. The skeleton. I'm sorry, not the skeleton. I'm sorry, the flaming head. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I want to say that we had the flaming skeleton.
Yeah, ours did too. They went a little crazy with that, and then they would have the cute little scarecrow there next there to it too. I guess kind of offset it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those skeleton hands would be put in places it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
With our kids in our school.
Yes.
So all I'm saying is, if there's a pin maker out there, if you made a pin set of this, you know I'd buy it anyway. But you know that's me. So hey, there's an idea for your pin set.
Oh, well, speaking, oh crap, they're in the bedroom and I'm not going to go.
What?
The pin set that I got recently. So you see the shirt that I'm wearing. Hang
Oh
on.
yeah.
And so say, see my,
It's the McDonald's orange pumpkin bucket.
Yeah.
For our audio listeners.
so I got this from Pinbackers, our good friend JD Raymer. If you've seen me wear the t-shirt that's the directed by Ivan Reitman shirt, that's the same person that did this t-shirt that I'm wearing. And he also put out a set of the of little pins that are like the Boo Bucket faces, the pumpkin, the ghost, and the witch. So
Not the current Boo
Right.
Bucket faces.
no, I'm against. I am not pursuing the current this year's Boo Buckets. I do not like them. I'm not. They're not what I want. So
And our friend Johnny Ruckus over at ruckustees.com
Mhm.
right now still has, you can get like the cups. I think we showed them last year
Mhm.
that were all the vintage Boo Bucket
Faces.
faces on those,
Mhm.
like her shirt.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got something too. I'm gonna pull up on a share screen here. I wish that I could have found. I wish I could have found more of these as I go through my family photos.
Oh,
This is Jessica as Bugs Bunny one year.
These are the Ben Cooper
Hmm
Halloween outfits where they were just kind of a vinyl bag with a picture of the character that you wore as a shirt, and then the plastic
The plastic where you had the tiny nose, holes there that you had to breathe out of.
I love that because it's like it's characterception because it's like you're the character, but you have a picture of the character on the character.
Yeah.
And NECA right now has they've been putting out the little action figures of these Ben Cooper style costumes. And we got a message today. I posted this up on Instagram that that we were doing this topic tonight for the episode, and Wayne Cordova, who hosts the Flip City Ghostbusters podcast, messaged me and is like, "Oh my gosh, we just discussed this on ours." He goes, "Those plastic masks with the Ben Cooper." He goes, "You're walking around and then the rubber band would snap, and then you're walking around all night trying to hold up a mask while you're trying to get the candy."
Yeah.
Or you went to pull the mask off and you did it weird and it like caught all your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh.
Yeah.
And Shane says, "Don't forget, you got your tongue always stuck in the mouth slit of the mask."
Yep. Our intrusive thoughts won all the time with that.
I did cut my tongue a couple of times on those slits.
Trick or treat. That's what it sounded like.
Exactly.
It was like a weird Christmas story.
So,
He stuck his tongue to the pole.
so that reminds me, in the costuming community, in the cosplay community, especially, I'm going to say it, if you're in the Ghostbusters community, if you're in the Star Wars community, especially, you've got costume elitists.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember I was probably about 7 or 8, and I pulled off a costume elitist with one of these Ben Cooper, with one of these Ben Cooper outfits. There was a girl, we had a Halloween party, and there was a girl who came, and I feel so horrible about this now. Kids are mean. That was me.
Yes.
Her mother made her a Darth Vader costume, and it was the most wonky, janky looking thing you'd ever want to see. And I had the Darth Vader Ben Cooper costume. I had the mask that looked like Darth Vader's helmet, and had of course the big Darth on the front, like you said, the character inception there.
Yeah.
And I just looked at her. I'm like, your costume is not as accurate as mine. This
See?
is like 7 or 8, and
Brock was a costume elitist.
costume elitist.
It started at an early age.
I'm not that way anymore,
No,
thankfully,
you're
because
not.
I appreciate the hard work. But now that I look back on it, that memory struck me today. It's the first time I've thought about this poor exchange I had with this girl, and she was such a sweet girl. She was a good friend, and I just went off, and I'd like your mom worked hard on that, and I felt so terrible. Well,
Nice.
today I felt terrible. I didn't care back then, but yeah.
You totally need to look that girl up and be like,
No.
you remember? I am so sorry.
Oh, actually,
Oh God.
she's passed away now.
Oh, man!
Yeah,
This,
now
this
that I
story
remember,
just took a turn.
A few years ago. Wow.
Okay, Brock. There's some. Well, you,
Oh.
left that business.
Wow.
You left that business unsettled.
No closure for you.
Yes.
None. Oh, I feel like trash.
And this is
Okay.
why you should never be a costume elitist. The end.
No, you shouldn't.
Yes.
Well, that was dark.
Yeah, that went dark.
Yeah, I'm sorry I took us there.
That escalated.
It is a Halloween episode, guys. Come on.
I just remembered who the girl was, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. I think she...
it was quite a number of years ago." But yeah. Oh, jeez.
Well,
She
hey,
died of
Bo,
a broken heart.
Yes.
What?
Because
It
she
wasn't
was
that.
still.
It wasn't that.
Hey, Bo, what you got there?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this is from one from my Halloweens here. We're going to talk about it was homemade, but outside of the toy. But hey, here's my early days of ghost busting
Look
from
at that.
Halloween.
Look
Yes.
at that.
I still have that same ecto popper. It's sitting over in my shelf over there.
You got it. But do you have the onesie?
No, I'm sure there's no telling where that is or what happened to that. But I mean, that's encapsulated of our youth. There, you got that 80s wood paneling in the background.
Yep. That's
God,
And of
good.
the nightmares.
Yeah.
I wish I could find more pictures of costumes I did as a kid, and because I know you were talking about Star Wars, I know somewhere, as I remember it, I was C-3PO one Halloween, and it was the plastic, the Ben Cooper style costume, but it wasn't like C-3PO on the chest of the costume. It was like it was made up to look like his body, like his little
Yeah.
parts show it and all that. So yeah, I know a C-3PO one year for Halloween. I wish I could find that picture. I wish somebody would take a picture. I wish I could find that one.
Yeah, I probably have a picture of some of my old stuff back in my mom's photo albums. I got a whole crate of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember one of my favorite costumes as a kid was definitely one of the Ben Coopers, but it was Casper, the friendly ghost.
Yeah.
My very first stuffed animal I ever got was the Christmas after I was born was a Casper, stuffed Casper. I still have it to this day. But yeah, I remember it's like Wayne messaged us today. It's like the rubber band busted on that thing, and I cried because I want to be Casper, But
I just wanted to be Casper.
yeah,
And other than I always loved, one thing that we used to really kind of back in the 80s too was, we'd have our own, create our own costumes and things like that and do our own. I remember one Halloween it was when Monster Squad had came out, and the what?
Yeah.
Why are you laughing
please
at?
don't tell me you were the Wolfman.
No, it's not Wolfman. No, it's not Wolfman. Because you know what Wolfman has,
And I know what you don't.
and I don't have that.
Yeah.
No, but the I
Wait,
wanted
what?
to be, have you not seen Monster Squad? Have you ever seen Monster Squad, Kevin?
No.
Oh,
Okay, you're totally missing the joke there.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Kevin,
What?
look up Monster Squad and watch it.
Okay.
But
It was like one of those. I think one of the taglines was, you know who to call for ghosts, but not who do you call for monsters. That was like one of the taglines.
Oh yeah.
no, I wanted to be.
Shane, OMG.
Oh gee, Wolfman.
Yeah. Yeah. Golly, Kevin. Yeah.
Shane said the world's going to end because Kevin has not seen Monster
I
Squad.
didn't even know what this was. So
I'm not going to ruin the joke or the
No,
line for
no,
you.
yeah,
no, no,
you
no,
gotta
no.
watch it. Yeah.
It's probably the most famous line from the movie.
Yes. But anyway, what I was getting at was that the lady vampires from the movie.
Mhm.
I wanted to do that for Halloween that year. So I remember we just bought like a white nightgown, and my mom did the pale face I got the fangs with the blood coming down. So it was like one of the female vampires. But I remember that, and then of course I've always did. There was a couple of years where I was doing, either the Cyndi Lauper thing or the punk or the rock, pop star kind of costume. You had to get the spray paint, the spray for your hair.
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved when I could spray my hair all different kind of colors. So that's one of my favorite things about dressing up as a kid.
And the first time Jess and I ever met face to face at Dragon Con, she was dressed up like Madonna.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was, because I always loved, that part of the 80s, that fashion, that style. I've always loved it. So, yeah.
Yeah, Shane said Monster Squad's a good throwback to the old Universal monsters. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Mitchell.
Yes.
Mitchell Brinkley. Hey, buddy. I saw Monster Squad for the first time last night, and it was awesome. A must-see movie.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. So you get the Wolfman reference.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't spoil it for Kevin.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, and I did find out, too, because we were talking about this maybe it was last year around Halloween. Maybe we were talking about movies and stuff, but we discovered that Brock had never seen Little Shop of Horrors. And I did find a way that we can watch it now. So Brock is going to finally see Little Shop of Horrors.
Why did you not watch it before this so that we could talk about it?
Well,
man?
because
Holy
I just-
crap.
Because we didn't find it until like 20 minutes before we went on.
Yeah. Because I was
Yeah.
like, surely with it being, October, it's got to be out there somewhere. Well, I did find it.
Well, the next time we go live, we'll have all seen Phantom of the Opera at the Alabama Theater. And so maybe before then I will watch. I would definitely watch Little Shop of Horrors, the Rick Moranis version, and then maybe the next episode we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
I did watch like the old version, like the original movie version. That was terrible.
It's bad.
The
Oh,
Rick
Jack Nicholson
Moranis
one or
version
the
is
other
that is the definitive version. I mean, they keep talking they're going to reboot it, and I'm like, don't. I mean, it's one of those ones where you just don't. I mean, it's
The Frank Oz movie. You can't top that one.
No, that's just, it's beautiful. Now I will say, and granted this is without spoilers to you, Brock, but it would be really cool if you don't get it, if whatever you watch doesn't have it, make sure that you go to YouTube and look at the alternate ending. That was the
Technically,
original ending.
Yeah, the original ending, yeah.
It was the original ending, but they changed it for this film to be a little lighter. But the original ending was a lot darker.
Okay.
You need to make sure you see it.
I can't wait till he sees like all the people he's seen from various other movies and other forms of media in that movie.
Yes.
He's just gonna have to. He's gonna have to,
Especially Bill
bear with
Murray.
me,
Especially Bill Murray.
singing and quoting lines, because that's
Yes,
another
doctor.
one.
Well, I would definitely have it watched before the next time, and we could talk about it then. So one reason the original Little Shop maybe is bad because it was done by Roger Corman. I didn't realize that Roger Corman did that one, but yeah, it was terrible.
It was bad.
It was so bad.
It's terrible.
That acting was no. So I remember, and of course, Bo, tell me you did something similar in '89. What did you go as in '89? Do you remember?
No, I don't think I had I didn't have Batman or anything like that. Honestly, like I'm trying to remember. Like it's weird. Like I have memories of Halloween, but I don't have memories of costumes. That's the crazy thing about
I'm the
it.
same way. I'm the same way, Bo.
Like I'm sure my mom's got tons of pictures I need to find. I just like I said, I have memories of things I did around Halloween, but actual like Halloween itself, I don't know. But I'm sure if there was a Batman available, I probably would have had some form of it.
There was. It was, of course, not the greatest quality.
Oh yeah.
Like the old makeup kits you could find at Walmart or whatever, probably still can. I went as the Joker,
Nice.
the '89 Joker. It was terrible. I had the face paint, the smile, and everything else. That part looked good. Had the green hair with the, like Jess was saying, when just spraying the paint in, the hairspray. My dad, being a former state trooper, had an old Smokey, the Smokey Bear hat. So I wore that. Which he wasn't happy about because it dyed the inside of it green.
They get a load of you.
Yeah. And then, of course, I wore just a pair of like Bugle Boy slacks, and I had a sweatshirt with a picture of the Joker. So it was like an adult Ben Cooper character exception. Because I didn't have the, I didn't have access to the, the good overcoat and orange shirt and all that jazz. But I don't know if I've got a photo. I'll look at it. But
Yeah.
well, what are some costumes that you might remember?
What that we did, or
Yeah.
just yeah.
I know I did He-Man one year before before Ghostbusters grabbed me. I was He-Man one year. I need to find. I can see that picture vividly in my mind. I just can't remember if my mom has it or if it's in my grandmother's house with all her packed up stuff. I need to go up there and look because I have tons of old pictures there. I got to get.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to go through my mom's stuff some more, and I went through a few of them. But trying to see really quickly if I've got if I had posted a picture anywhere of that costume. I probably didn't.
Yeah, I've still got boxes of stuff I got to go through as my mom gives to me. Like I said, not costumes, but I have memories of things like I've done because like I remember we went to our especially like in the mid to late '80s, the schools were big doing fall festivals,
Yes.
and they would the fall festivals at the schools,
Mm-hmm.
and like ours even had I remember my first haunted house was in like the gymnasium. They set one up for the weekend. That was my first haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember going through it easily, and now I can remember it was a lot of garbage bags and pallets and stuff hanging around with flashing lights. I mean,
Yep.
you know,
Exactly. That's you talk about that. That's one of the things that I have, when I think back as Halloween as a kid, the fall festivals we did at school. I always looked forward to that every year because they were always so much fun. And of course, dressing up, going trick or treating. I mean, it gets said quite a bit, especially by, people our age and older, but that's, you used to could go and your parents could turn you loose and you could just roam neighborhood after neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you were safe because you had your little flashlight. And so I miss those. I miss those moments as a kid. Those were just some really fun times.
Yeah. And my kids had some neighborhoods that they went and did trick or treating in growing up, so they got to experience all that, which is great. But yeah, the school haunted houses were. I never went. I remember the first one because I grew up in a little town called Coffee Springs. I mean, less than 300 people in it, but we had our elementary school and everything there, and it was of course in the old high school gymnasium.
Yeah.
And I would go and they had the fishing game with the cane pole with the paper clip or the clothespin on the end. You threw it over and everything. And I remember that they had sectioned off part of the gym behind that game as the haunted house. And I could hear all the high schoolers scaring everybody. And I'm like, nope.
Well,
I was like in first grade, I think.
Well, I used to do, we used to have, the community haunted houses here.
Mhm.
And when I was in high school, and I used to used to volunteer and work in those. And I remember one year I was laying there and I had to lay down on the floor the whole night, but I had we had a thing was tied around my waist where it was like an axe that was going inside, and then the shirt went on top. There was a hole in the shirt I was wearing, so the shirt went on top of that, and they just stuck the axe handle down there. So I just got to, to lay there all night as an axe victim. So
yeah, I remember doing a couple of those as well. The haunt. I remember that my most vivid memory of that was getting my hands stomped by people. Because they would come through and my job was to scare them, and then people would stomp my hands, and I quickly learned to get some gloves and tape them up so that it wouldn't hurt nearly as bad. But it's always fun to see what people's reactions are when they're going to get scared.
You may think with people's reactions, I'll never forget. It was after I graduated high school, but I think I helped out with it was either a band did a haunted trail somewhere. And I will never forget there was a group of teenagers that got scared, and I was just standing there to make sure nobody ran off into the wrong direction into the woods, even though they had a guided path. But I still never forget. I scared plenty of people just standing there. I mean, I know, but that was good. And then also one time there was a big scare up before me, so that's one reason why I stood there to make sure nobody ran off the woods. And I'm sitting there like, hey, y'all need to stop running. They're running off into the woods.
I never did work at a haunted house or anything until I was in the Air Force. And I was out at Fort Hood, and they had this big restaurant sports bar on the middle of the post called the Sports Dome. And so it was in '95 because the World Series was going on at the same time, and I was trying to watch the Braves win. But I had to go back. We had to all be back out, and they had a large area back behind the restaurant. And they gave us paintball guns, which was great. They're like, "Look, these are adults; they can handle this." So we got to actually shoot people with paintballs as they were coming.
Sweet.
They were coming through the haunted woods. Oh, but there were soldiers; they could handle it.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
they had worse things fired at them.
Yeah, I always loved growing up doing the spook trails and the haunted houses and things in the area.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have the JC's haunted house.
Yeah, I was going to ask
Yeah.
if the JCs ever did anything around here like that.
They did. It was it was south side, well, close to the St. Vincent's area, Birmingham, and it was an old white house that they used to have. They used to have that area, and it's gone. They've torn it down since. But we used to. That was like one of the Birmingham traditions was the JC's haunted house, and then used to have Sloss Furnace and
I'm still sad they got rid of Sloss because it was such a beautiful backdrop for a haunted attraction.
I did Sloss once, loved it. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
The JC's down in Enterprise, they did a wonderful haunted house every year, and that was the first one I ever went to, I think in middle school. And I remember they had, Freddie and Jason and had the chainsaw going from Leatherface. And I remember that the chainsaw actually touched me on the back of the leg. And that got me over my fear really quickly because there was no chain on it, thankfully. I was like, oh,
yeah, but
okay.
There was always that story about that. Oh, I knew somebody that went in there one time and they chased them with a chainsaw and it touched their legs and it ripped their leg open. And then, so there's always that story that it always happened to somebody.
And
somebody got hurt.
And there was always that urban legend of like some of the major cities had this haunted house. If you made it to a certain floor, you would get, you'd get paid or stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you made it this many levels. You have to keep going up.
Yep.
The higher the level, the more you'd get paid at the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone just needed a David S. Pumpkins.
Yes.
With the levels.
Oh gosh.
Any questions?
That is a good skit. Speaking of Saturday Night Live skits, so if y'all haven't seen the parody they did for the Spirit Halloween commercial?
Oh, it
Saturday
is
Night Live,
wonderful.
it's really good. So you should go
It's
check
spot
that out.
on.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we can't play it here, but go check that out. And then your Spirit had to fire back at them. So
yeah.
Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah, and Saturday Night Live took a dig at Spirit, and Spirit just hit him right back. So yeah,
50-year-old show that's irrelevant now, and
so if you haven't seen that, go check that out. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Were there any influences that you remember from your childhood that now impact the way you decorate for Halloween?
Oh, 100%. There wasn't any, so now I decorate. But I will say now that it's decorate now that, like I said, is being the dad, being the dad, the lawn enthusiast dad. It's very, I ain't gonna lie, it's added that extra level of crud. I've got to pull all this stuff up so I can cut grass, only to put it right back down again.
The dad.
The joy of double decorating.
Yes.
Well, I mean, a lot of the problem I have now is, I decorate for Halloween so freaking early that it's fun actually, managing the lawn around all the decorations. And then I realized I'm like, I'll just leave it alone because it just makes it look spookier.
Yeah. Well, there's like, I want to say it was a couple of years ago. I had to move. It was transitioning from Christmas to, from Halloween to Christmas, and I had to move one of the decorations, and there was a snake under it. So that's, great. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
To your point, Kevin, of leaving things down and letting the grass grow up around it. I mean, it's Alabama. I mean, we do that with our cars anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not my yard though. I don't like doing that. But I mean, if it's I guess if it's like a skeletal rattlesnake in the grass, I guess that's okay, right?
Yeah. Sure.
It works.
Oh, I saw at Target the other day, they had a skeleton dachshund.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I've got to go get that because that's the breed of dog I've had more times than any other in my life. He's
I
cute.
have 2 of the skeleton dachshunds in my
Oh.
petting zoo. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got those. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember last year. I had a skeletal dog walker, where
Yeah.
like they were walking the dogs, and there were 2 dachshunds in with that as well. too,
Oh.
so, yeah, but they're smaller than that. They're like, I don't know, they're like miniature, so they're like maybe a foot long at the most. They're just super cute.
Speaking of
Yeah.
skeleton, I was this close to getting one of the Home Depot 12-foot skeletons. I had to wait out. I finally found one local to pick it up. When I get there, somebody had got ahead of me, and they're like, hey, we'll pick it up by 1. So I was sitting there. I waited there, and they showed up at like 8 minutes till 1. I was like, of course they did. So,
Oh my gosh.
but I think if we get one, we're going to probably leave him up all year and just decorate him with the correct holiday. That's what we're probably
What I
gonna
want to do, I've got the Home Depot, or not the Home Depot, the Costco groundbreaking skeleton. I want to do the whole thing where people have put him on the roof, and then put the you basically you put some of the, you make it look like he's bursting out of the roof, and then use that and decorate that all year long. So like for Christmas, give him a big hat. But the thing is like everything would have to be custom made because it's really difficult to realize just how big this thing is. Like his head diameter is bigger than a basketball hoop. It's huge. So it's like everything you'd have to make for it.
My wife was telling me about it. I hadn't found it because there's like some video where somebody took one of those and like they made like where it looked like fake skin was falling off of it with like saran wrap and other stuff. That sounds amazing.
Oh
I
wow.
want to do it.
Huh.
I want to do it.
And for those of you watching in the chat, let us know what you guys do for your Halloween traditions. We'd love to hear that as well. So we'll put your comments up here on screen.
Well, maybe think while we're thinking about it, of course, if it's Halloween, you got to talk candy. So, favorite Halloween candy?
Stop reading my mind over there, Bo, because I was thinking about candy too.
Like Halloween candy when we were a kid, talking about razor blades and candy.
I mean, yeah, you got to check your
needles in them.
Or okay, where's the other one where you always had the grandma, because you would go to your grandma's house and she would have that bowl of candy that was congealed into one thing.
Yeah.
And you would have to have an ice pick to like knock it off, and then you would have the old person that would always try to give that away. And it was like you would have them in little baggies, and it's almost like I'm not gonna eat that at all.
And the candy that was always melted together with always the really hard peanut butter pieces with the brown and the orange wrappers on them.
Yeah, yeah.
Or another one I just thought of, the psychos that would give out the circus peanuts.
Yes. Who? I'm still trying to think. The circus peanuts.
Oh,
I know.
look.
I forgot you
did
like
that. Did you do it, Brock? Did you give out circus peanuts?
No,
that was my mom's favorite candy.
Yeah, he's got a soft spot for circus peanuts.
Circus peanut.
I understand that for
it was, and she had that was the last candy she ate before she died.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Brock.
And no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
the
a
candy's still horrible though. I'm sorry.
I have not eaten any since she passed away, but we had a bag of them in her room when she died. But it's all good. I'm also the guy that likes candy corn a whole lot. I love candy corn.
Dude, candy, I will die on that hill. Candy corn's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Shane says, I do nothing as I live in the middle of nowhere and I have a quarter-mile driveway uphill.
I will tell you one good thing about, sorry, go ahead.
He says, so he getting a trick-or-treaters as they would die walking up the hill. He says, I got animal crackers.
Nothing wrong with animal crackers. Hey,
I'm good with that.
Well, hey, speaking of that made me think. I think I've seen them at Sam's. They make like Reese's peanut butter chocolate covered animal crackers. They have them at Sam's.
Oh,
they
that's
are
evil.
Amazing.
Oh,
if you haven't had any yet, get you some.
Yeah.
If you don't like candy corn, what you should do that will probably make you like candy corn, and this is always subjective because some people will just not like candy corn. Get some popcorn and put candy corn in it.
Okay.
Put candy corn on top of popcorn.
Okay.
It will change your life. It's incredible. I mean, you guys took my advice before on the Christmas tree cakes. I'm telling you, this is another one that'll change you.
So I have a theory I'm going to test. So y'all like candy corn. Do you also like black licorice?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay, so usually the candy corn enthusiasts like black licorice. That's
Yes.
why I always thought they're kind of little enjoyment
I
just
don't-
can't eat too much of it because it'll it put you in the hospital.
Yeah.
I don't like licorice of any kind. Like even like go so far as Twizzlers and stuff like that. I can't stand that the consistency of the texture.
You don't like anise, the licorice.
Yeah.
The ingredient. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And speaking of spooky things, Jess, did you pull up a website that's got a blinding white screen because you look like you're in Poltergeist?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It is the Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Well, we did have that little green
Orb.
dot that flew in front of my
Hey,
face
hey,
earlier.
That
Jess.
red orb.
Just say this house is clear.
Yeah.
It made me think, like with y'all talking about watching like spooky stuff. Like my son's 9. I'm not ready to traumatically scar him yet. I'm waiting till he's about 12 before we start watching like all the good horror stuff. Like I'm ready to get him there.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're
Yeah.
gonna, we're gonna
Last
we're
year,
gonna-
we finally let my kids watch Psycho last year, and they loved it. My daughter really loved it. So, and now that she's in college, I can probably bust out the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mhm.
I can probably get to that part. And Shane says, I remember a lot of times getting the generic candy, Werther's or candy they don't make anymore, like candy cigarettes or Big League
Yep.
chewing gum.
Candy cigarettes.
Candy?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
Now
candy
that- now-
cigarettes were big.
What do they
in
call
school.
them now? Just candy sticks, I think.
Candy sticks.
Well,
Do you want to buy some death sticks?
Yeah.
I don't want to buy some death sticks.
Do they sell them at
Palmer's
Cracker Barrel?
chocolate.
I don't know. I haven't paid attention. Either that or you would dump out your candy, you'd eat all you want, and then you're left with like bunch of Tootsie Rolls and Smarties, that never get eaten. Yeah. That or then you had some people that gave out what the Bit O' Honey.
Yes.
Don't not.
I remember
get
that.
I know
Ohio.
honey is good.
Yeah, but still, it's not one of the most
Or-
top tier Halloween.
Or then
candy.
It's not.
every now and then you would get somebody they give you a fun dip.
Oh yeah.
Fun deal.
Bro, okay, whoa. Okay, all right. So this year, you guys, I have my tiers of candy, right? I do the full size candy bars. My backup candy for if I run out is Fun Dips.
Nice.
Full size Fun Dips.
Good God.
And I'm gonna
man,
mix
yeah.
that in so I can
Fun.
kind of slow things down a little bit because I would like to have some Beatus left over for me. But I'm expecting around
Fun,
250.
fun dip is just an insane idea. Here, you eat candy with candy.
Yeah, pure sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
and pixie sticks.
Pixies.
Pixie
Yes.
sticks.
Oh
Yes.
man, those were the death sticks, man. You get enough of those and you were bouncing off the walls.
What were the giant ones called? Like Saturn or Mars or something? It was something to do with a planet or something. But
Yeah.
the tubes were like this big and this
Yeah.
long. That's why I take Ozempic now. Shane says fun dips will always fun, especially when you use in the way you're not supposed to. What?
Mm.
I don't know if we
minute.
want to know
I don't
this,
know.
Shane.
Shane, you're not depositories, man.
That's a completely different kind of fun dip. Hey, now, hey.
Wow, guys.
I mean, that's what they were kind of shaped like.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, you are killing me.
Man, you guys are I'm never gonna look at Fun Dip the same ever again. Would you kids like a Fun Dip? Make sure you use this as directed.
Hey, Mitchell says I grew up a fat kid, so Tootsie Roll, Smarties, and Bit of Honey, whatever you gave me, were fine with me. Okay, Shane. Now we know what we're talking about. Shane says snorting the candy. Okay. I was thinking of the little white sticks.
Yeah. Mm.
I love that we do live streams now. This
Yes.
makes it so much better.
Yeah.
We love interaction.
I'm trying to think other things like, and then every now and then somebody would give you some pop rocks.
Yeah.
The curve there.
With
Yep.
with Coke.
Oh, of course, you gotta knock out a chunk of your teeth while you're doing it.
Right. Well, you're gonna make your throat explode.
Mhm.
Oh,
if you
yeah, oh,
have the
yeah.
Pop rocks
I mean-
and the soda at the same time.
And I always loved people who gave out jawbreakers.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You kids, the thing is you get a jawbreaker and you're gonna be take
Oh, you're good.
You're gonna be on that for like 2 days. You're gonna be good to go.
And the little
Yeah.
atomic fireballs.
Oh,
love
yes.
it.
Oh, those
Yes.
are so good. Oh,
Man, clear your sinuses out.
like yeah, you
Oh,
want
yeah.
your cinnamon, baby? Here you go.
Red Hots. And Lemonhead.
Jason, that was in your stomach. the Mikey kid died from
Mikey did anything.
that. Mikey likes it. Not anymore.
That's it's cool. Like I said, the Halloween. I think that's why like our generation is buying all these the decorations and stuff, just because Halloween's been important to us. Like I think like our parents' generation, they kind of enjoyed it, but like I think we were the first mass marketed one that ingrained it in our culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we had all the horror movies and stuff back in the 80s, all
Yeah.
the slasher films and stuff like that really helped.
Yeah.
Because we were watching those when we weren't supposed to.
I know it's like it amazed. I'm like I'm trying to I suppose my kid. I'm like no, I remember that we had cartoons based on this stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and you still have you still have people that like and I'm not knocking it here, but you have people that do trunk or treat, right? And so we got trunk or treat, and a lot of that stuff. The reason that trunk or treat came around was that people are still scared about us getting razor blades in our candy, and then like weird people in their homes snatching kids and taking them and things like that. And I know you guys had the same experience likely, but when I was a kid, I don't remember my costumes. I'm the same as with Bo. I don't remember what I did, but I do remember that it was like, all right, you guys be home at 10, have fun, bring home some candy, and you would just go wherever.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. And so, that was a real concern. And now you got parents. The parenting style is very different now. And there are different expectations on you as a parent. There are things that you would never do now because you would be shamed to death if you were to do the same things that were done to us, where, drink from the water hose and go and, go get your own candy. But like, now that's, now you've got the rise of like trunk or treat. And, I'm personally trying to bring trick or treat back into my neighborhood pretty hard. And one of the things I wanted to touch on, if you guys don't mind, a segue a little bit from the candy.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my neighborhood, I live in a smaller community, but I don't know if I'm a responsible part of this, but we're really well known in the area for being a place to go and get candy, because just about everybody on my street does trick or treating, and we always give out candy. So this year we had a lot of folks that were coming forward, going, "Look, we really appreciate that a lot of people come into our neighborhood, but we don't ever get any trick or treaters come over here because we only have a handful of people on our street that do it." And I'm like, okay, well, so I just started making a Google map. I literally started making a Google map with everybody's little, put little trick or treat icons. And I'm going to set up QR codes all over our neighborhood that you can scan, and you could literally know where all the Beatus is. You just go pick it up, baby. And it's you don't have to look for porch lights like we did when we were younger. But we had hit on a little bit earlier about people that think Halloween is for the devil. It's for the devil. The amount of people that I've had come forward and either message me or say like openly in the threads on the private groups that they're not gonna do it because they don't let their kids do trick or treating. We don't like kids doing trick or treating. I'm like, all right, cool. I mean,
yeah.
It's usually the what's her name? Jennifer, the one who was in Hunger Games, Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Where's the last name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Thank you, Jess. You saved me. Thank you, Jennifer. The Jennifer Lawrence gif where she's going. She's like, oh yeah. It's usually that gif. It's like, okay, I get you, but shut up and let us have our fun.
Yeah. Shane says
Yeah.
forget a lot
Well,
of
there's
the idiots
idiots
out there
everywhere,
now.
man. You know what? There were idiots back when we were kids, but
Yeah.
our parents just didn't care. They were just like, go get you stuff, and I hope you make it home.
Yeah. Well, that's like you was talking about, like the maps. Like my wife found something through the next door. They have a thing called the Spooky Map where you can say, "Hey, my address is decorated. Bring your kids here." You know, especially when it comes to Halloween. Like, cause usually, like we're out with my kiddo for Halloween, but we still leave a bowl of candy on the front door. So hey, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really miss taking my kids trick or treating. That was always such a joy. I'm glad they got to experience that, and hopefully they will with their kids. Hopefully that's going to make a huge comeback.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, it's the amount of trick or treaters we've had, at least on my street, has gone up exponentially every year since I've lived there.
That's
It
your fault.
wasn't. Oh yeah, I'm sure I'm a very good driver, especially since it's like, hey, come. We know we can go get full size candy bars on this street because it looks like Vegas. Go to the house that looks like Vegas, and that's the guy. You know, and thankfully my neighbors across the street are good sports because I asked them this year. I'm like, I'm going to be upgrading my Proton streams on my Ghostbusters, and it's going to be like Vegas this year. And they're like, we love it. We don't care. Just keep doing it.
And Shane says he thinks a lot of people do more trick or treating if they live in apartment complexes
That's
or
a good
condos.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
That's a
see
good
that
point.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think people do trick or treating if they want free candy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's a given, and you know, I mean, I wish more people did it, and I'm actually recommending without, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
actually
more
recommending
centralized.
this year. We have in our neighborhood. We have a trunk or treat at some ball fields that are off the edge of our neighborhood. I added it as an icon there too. So it's like go get candy. I don't care where you go. Just get out. Do trick or treating of some kind. It's a you know, I kind of feel like it's a dying thing. Although one you know, we don't like rampant commercialization of holidays gets a bad rap, and it's usually for a good reason. But one holiday that really has not been a mass commercialized yet, it's working on it, is Halloween. Like this year, it was more commercialized than anything. And if anything, that's just going to be, I'm hoping will be a net positive because it just gets more and more people wanting to do. I mean, I see a lot more trunk or treat, like decorations for cars and stuff like that, which is really cool. But I'm also seeing stuff that is geared more towards like decorations on your house, obviously, and just getting people to come to your house, which that stuff like that, I mean, little just makes me giddy. I love it.
Yeah. And welcome in, the Seb. Good to see you. In my small town, less than 1,700 people, there are several houses we can all walk to, and that's awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome. I know that, you know, we don't decorate, like we mentioned, we don't decorate outside for Halloween, and I can't wait until we do, because like at Lowe's this year, we got the Master Gracie headstone from the Haunted Mansion. We're starting a really good Haunted Mansion headstone collection, and we don't put it out, and I don't like that. But I'm hoping once we move from this house and get into a little bit more open area with a bigger yard, kind of away from the houses being right next to each other, you know, I want to be able to. I want to be like Kevin. I want to go just full board to the wall, just put stuff up. And I'm afraid if we don't ever get out of this house, I'm going to be too old to do that. But
Yeah, my eventual goal is I want to put some more those lights up that sync to music. Like that's one of my goals. I want to do it, but like I'm gonna find one that's just, you know, you program it where it changes the color. So I put them up right for October, and they'll be up from October to Christmas.
Yeah, so that's a
Yeah.
cool idea that they've
That's a
come
very
out
good
with
idea.
things like that too. Those LEDs, and that you can do the strips and stuff with the house,
Yeah.
and it's
Well, the company called Govey, and it's maybe what you're talking about. They actually have permanent outdoor lights that you literally just put on there, and you just leave them out all year long. Oh, 4th of July, cool. Let me put on the 4th of July pattern. Boop, you turn it on, and you're fine. You're right.
yeah, I've got some of their indoor lights from that company.
Oh man, those are my Christmas lights for my Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah?
Those things are incredible. Oh my gosh.
We have to try that this year. We've got lights already built into the limbs.
Oh, I turned those off when I got the Govey lights. They are so much better. Oh
My dad would be rolling over in his grave if he knew I was using a fake tree, because he ran a Christmas tree farm for 35 years. We've discussed that that child labor issue I had with that, because I was the child laboring. The Seb says we park at the church for their trunk or treat, then walk the town. So
That's
you double
good.
dip. That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good.
Take
advantage.
that's huge. I mean, we've got in our neighborhood. Like I mentioned, we've got the closest trunk or treat to our neighborhood, which is the big one for candy. It's kind of off to the side. So I'm kind of trying to work on some of the folks that are on that same street to make it where you can. It's still not going to be enough to where you can walk because it's a big neighborhood. But you could leave, you could like start at the trunk or treat and then leave and then just kind of follow the road around and just know where all the houses you can stop at. That's my dream. That stuff makes me so happy.
And the Seb says, this year is our grandbaby's first
Hmm.
Halloween.
How about
Awesome.
that?
Going to go to
Nice.
the Jasper Fall Festival. The entirety of downtown is just one big trunk or treat
Oh,
style.
that's
cool.
great.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's really cool. Now I love events like that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, anything to get people out and enjoying Halloween. It's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a holiday that deserves more attention, and it's just fun. It's just where people can just go out and express themselves as costumes. And we don't know, the people on this podcast know nothing about going out and expressing yourself in costume
No, absolutely
at all.
No, but you're right. I mean, Halloween is a holiday of fun. And the event, all the different things that you can do in October, whether it be, the haunted houses or the spook trails, or just the one thing that I really hope that we try to do more is just to take time during the month and watch a movie. There's something about that coziness of sitting on the couch and watching a good horror movie during
Yeah.
this month. I mean, it's
Yep.
just setting the vibe and for everything. But Halloween was meant to be fun, and
Yes.
that's the one thing that
Well-
sets it apart and makes it special.
Well, and additionally, just Halloween is what you make it.
Mhm.
It's like it can be scary. Like, my decorations are not scary. I don't want to scare kids, but there's a house at the other end of the neighborhood that they do scary decorations, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it can be
So-
scary. It can be fun. It can be. I mean, like I said, it's meant to be a holiday of fun. Yeah.
Well, if we ever build our next house, Jess and I are in talks of how we want to make a more modern looking, make a haunted mansion style exterior, but have
Yeah.
a modern architecture and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I don't know. We've got ideas that we want to make an old creepy looking house, but have it completely modern and certainly
Yeah.
a more structurally sound.
I know you guys have a giant, like 2-story tall
Yep.
Kevin froze.
area
Oh,
so
Kevin.
that you have a vestibule. Oh,
We
did-
missed- Yeah, you froze.
You froze for a second.
We heard 2-story tall and then you froze.
a 2-story tall aerial banner, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the Little
We
Mermaid,
do.
because you're going to need to have a McMansion so that you've got the vestibule so that you can hang that thing up. So you can do all kinds of fun stuff with a vestibule like that.
I do have an 11-foot tall aerial banner from the Disneyland's Anaheim Resort.
I haven't forgot about that. I know
Yeah.
you're going to try
Oh,
to figure
yeah.
out a way to hang that up.
Yeah, we got to have some big walls, a tall wall somewhere in the house for that, because that thing's been hidden. Bought it during the pandemic, and it's been hiding in storage ever since. And I wouldn't mind breaking it back out. Shane says, "Have you seen any of the Japanese Halloween stuff?"
I
Have
have, but
not.
I'm sure it's intense because they don't play around.
Yes, I have. I've seen The Ring, the original movie.
So I was gonna say, yeah, are we talking about like stuff like The Ring? Then yes.
Which I saw there. I think it's Universal Japan. Their Halloween Horror Nights. They have like the modern Resident Evil game like theme
Ooh.
going on for that, and I was like, ooh.
And then we have Universal Studios, when they do the Harry Potter parks, they have the Death
Yeah.
Eaters come out,
Yep.
which is
that's
freaking awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. The Seb says a family in our town will do an interactive scare for the trick-or-treaters. They're dressed up, walking the road, fake body parts on a grill, etc.
That is awesome.
And Shane says he meant the Halloween parties and the street takeovers.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
No, I haven't seen that. So just that's something you can look up as far as like over in Japan.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you're saying. I have to look into that. 'Cause
Yeah,
no,
I'll
I
have to
don't,
look that
I don't
up.
know I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I would love to
Man.
decorate so much more for Halloween, but we just got to get out of this neighborhood and get to a place where I'm comfortable leaving stuff out.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never had a problem here, but at the same time, it's just always that thing that sticks in the back of your mind subconsciously.
Yeah.
You're like, just in case.
Yeah, the one time, yeah.
No, I've had people steal wind chimes out of this yard before.
Oh, you
And
have?
Yeah, before
Before I came
you.
along.
But yeah, I had a nice display of wind chimes on like a planter, and somebody came and stole them. So
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, Shane said Universal Japan does Resident Evil as you play laser tag while trying to escape an Umbrella research site.
no, that's cool.
That's really cool.
That's
Yeah.
insane. I love that.
Yeah. And the Seb says another house did something similar where they'll play Halloween movies through a
Mhm.
projector on their house.
Yeah.
See,
That's
that's-
Kevin.
That's
Yeah,
that's
have you been in my house?
well, that's like the end of my driveway. We've got this big concrete wall. Like when eventually we quit going out for Halloween. That's that's one of my goals is I want to have that there.
Dude, that would be sweet.
That'd
Yeah.
be neat.
Mm-hmm.
Have a
Yeah.
drive-in type thing or something. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of the things. Like I said,
And you're gonna have kids that just stand there and they don't.
Yeah.
they don't leave.
yeah. Well, I mean, like there you have that. Like, of course, where I live at, Tannehill's close to me, and they have their big Halloween. They call it their Halloween Fairyland, and people
Yeah.
have like their camper set up, and they have like their show.
Fairyland.
Yeah, I think that's what it's. It's an interesting name, but
I was out there a couple of weeks ago and
yeah.
I saw them doing the setup for that. And it's actually
Yeah.
looking really good.
Yeah, they do a good
I've never
job.
been.
No, we have. Remember,
For Halloween?
we went. We didn't go for Halloween, but we were down there. Remember, we had it was a couple of years ago. We went down there get together.
Yeah, we did that, but
It wasn't on Halloween though.
well,
Right.
But
I
all
think
the
it's like-
decorations were
yeah.
up. Yeah,
Yeah, it's insane. Like you got to get there like multiple hours before sundown.
yeah, you got yeah.
Huh.
Man, one of those RVs out there had the giant dragon inflatable, the one that looks like Charizard,
Yeah,
that looks huge. I was jealous, man, because I wanted to get that one. I was like, I don't know how I would fit it into my theme, but I want a Charizard dragon out in my yard. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I want it out there.
make it work.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll figure it out.
And I've noticed though, for some reason, a lot of the festivals and things that are taking place this year, at
Remember?
least around
You know how
here,
they
are
did with
happening happening on the 27th.
God,
So, oh, what?
Kevin glitched.
did I dirt? Oh my god, I keep glitching. I'm so sorry, guys.
That's all right.
So,
Yeah, a lot of things now like they do it the Saturday beforehand. That's which I get that. It's like there were some people who were trying to petition to have Halloween be like the last Saturday of the month or whatever, and I'm like, nope, it's 31st. That's
It has to be the
Old
31st.
Hallows
Has to
Eve.
be.
I don't care. Like this year, it's on a Thursday. I don't care. Kids are still gonna come out.
And that's like like somebody brought up a good point. Yeah.
The Seb says at the previous Magic City Con, my youngest daughter got her picture hugging Jason Voorhees. Was it a purple Jason
Yes.
Voorhees?
Yeah.
If it was the NES purple version of Jason Voorhees, we know exactly who that was.
Yes, we know that person. And he's a very, very dear friend of ours.
or if it was Jason from Part 6.
mhm, yeah, he's done both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she pulled up his mask and then dropped it back down.
That has to be Rookie because I'm going to do the same thing too.
Well, she probably saw Rookie's normal face.
That's what I'm saying.
That's funny.
I love it.
Great. I tinkered with the idea of getting a full Jason costume at one point, but I was like, or it could have been Roberto actually.
Yeah.
Roberto's
Mhm.
got the Jason mask. He could have. Awesome. Yeah. She said I'll tag into the Facebook photo I took. Yeah, please do, because we'd love to see that for sure. Yeah, please tag us. And if you need to know where to tag us, at Bama Geeks everywhere, social media. And if you're on Facebook, then join our Bama Geeks Front Porch on Facebook. Just look us up, type it in, ask to join. We'll put you on there. Again, the plugs are over. So
And hey, you never know. Like so
Well,
you're talking
I didn't take it
about
down.
we're doing
No,
the
they're
plugs.
not.
Do the plugs at least. One day we can get maybe we can get the Discord going pretty good, and we can do a watch along if everybody joins.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Patreon or the YouTube members.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we could probably pull off a good riff tracks to some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We could definitely, especially Little Shop of Horrors. That would be
Maybe
amazing.
think with Little Shop of Horrors though. You may think with like obscure or not really obscure, but movies. Have you ever watched Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Oh my gosh!
Years
yes.
Years ago.
Oh, that was phenomenal.
That one and then the second one, the first two, they're great. They're
Attack of the
Yes,
Killer Tomatoes.
With the
Demonetized.
I remember the only time I went to Sloss for their haunted house, they had the killer clowns from outer space running around.
Mm.
yep.
Yeah.
That's
That was
another
pretty
good
fun.
one. It's so funny because we watched Ernest Scared Stupid a couple weeks ago, and I always remember when you see all the trolls come on. Some of them were reused. The aliens were reused. They were repainted as trolls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's another horror movie that had a cartoon. Absolutely.
I saw the cartoon before I saw the movie.
Huh. That ought to be another episode where we talk about the R-rated properties from the 80s and stuff that had toys and video games.
Yes, that would be
Everything
a
was tied to it.
wonderful one. Yes, I am all for that.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's put that on the planner. So, well, is there anything else we want to talk about for Halloween nostalgia? Are we good? Or anybody in the chat, if you got any last minute Halloween memories you guys want to throw in there, go ahead. And
The only else I could think of, you got any preferred Halloween special? Like, you know,
the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got a rock.
Yeah. It just reminds me of Phil Fulmer from Tennessee. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
I always think of that when I always think about the Ghostbusters Halloween special with the Boogaloo. That's always one that sticks with me. And of course,
Garfield.
Garfield, yeah.
As
Garfield
much as
had a
our
Halloween
love
special.
of Paul Lynn, watch the old Paul Lynn Halloween special.
Yep.
Shane said, I think more people got into Killer Tomatoes due to the anime Chainsaw Man,
Okay.
since they represent the
okay.
opening credits. Okay. Definitely Garfield. Heck, there was always one, a Mickey cartoon.
Are you,
Mick.
And then Sleepy Hollow, The Legend of
Yeah.
Sleepy
Yeah,
Hollow.
yeah.
With Ichabod Crane from Disney.
The Disney's Halloween Treat.
the trick
They
or treat.
showed-
trick or treat.
They had like little snippets of different little cartoons all together. Also, speaking of 80s Halloween, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but me as a girl growing up in the 80s, The Worst Witch.
Oh, I know. Yes.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Is it the Tim Curry?
Yes. Tim Curry,
I remember the name. I don't remember the actual.
Fairuza Balk.
Now I want to watch it.
Before, young Fairuza Balk. So,
Before or after Return to Oz?
hold
About
on.
right at the same time.
Worst Witch was done in. Hold on, just 1 second. It's probably around the same time. It's not far off though.
Shane said Witch's Night Out. Is that the one with Dan Aykroyd? Is that what you're talking about, Shane?
Okay, so Worst Witch was 1986, and
So that was probably after.
Return to Oz was 85. So yeah, that was gonna say they weren't even but a year or so apart. Yeah. So Worst Witch was a one that, as a girl growing up in the 80s, was a must watch for me.
Well, and granted, it's not as old, but one particular movie I like watching around Halloween every year, and it's not incredibly Halloween related, but it's awesome, is Army of Darkness.
Oh, of course.
Oh yes.
Army of Darkness, that movie is so freaking good, man. That was Sam Raimi at his best.
Where
And of course, Beetlejuice.
Yes.
You gotta have Beetlejuice.
yeah. So I'm looking. The Seb said that we were tagged, and I'm not seeing it.
Or if he tagged it as Bama Geeks, or I'm not sure if it's personal.
Oh, you guys, I got a story for you.
Okay.
I got a story for you. So this is not Halloween related, but it's scary movie related.
Yes.
Army of Darkness definitely fits anywhere. I agree with that, Shane. So you guys remember a little movie back in the 90s, late 90s, called The Blair Witch Project?
Yes.
Yeah,
Did you guys go and see it in the theaters?
I did.
No, thankfully not, because I did not want motion sickness.
I did. I
Well,
went
it's
to see it.
probably for the best. So what did you think of it, Jess?
I mean, the hype was
The marketing was fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the first viral marketing thing.
the hype and the marketing leading up to it was fantastic. I got to be honest, I wasn't wild by the movie.
Were you scared?
No.
I was the same way. I did.
No,
The movie
I
really
wasn't
did scare
scared.
me. But I'm wired wrong, and I don't react to scary movies the way a lot of people do. But
I wanted to be scared, and that's one thing too. It's like I wanted to be scared by it, and I wasn't. So, but you know, sometimes it's like you've got horror movies that's gore and slasher, then you've got horror movies that are psychological.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends. I guess it's like
And
whatever.
that was psychological, really. Yeah.
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 Hey, the Seb, do you mind if I share this photo on the stream? I see it now. That's awesome. That may be Roberto. I'm pretty sure that's Roberto. Let us know in the chat if you don't mind mind me sharing this.
So I'll continue. I'll continue with the story until we get a response there, and then I'll stop.
Mhm.
But so, okay, go ahead. Let's go ahead and share. Seb says it's fine.
Let's see. Here we go. Share screen.
But I want to continue my story.
Yeah, absolutely.
After we're done with this, because it's actually kind of, I don't know if it's funny. We're gonna find out what you guys think.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Roberto.
That's Roberto.
Yeah.
I think that's Roberto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not wearing a mask.
That's just normal Roberto. You must have caught him before he got his morning coffee.
Yeah. That man is on caffeine all day.
Oh, he's awesome.
That's awesome.
Okay, so
thanks for tagging us and sharing that. That's awesome.
yeah, we appreciate it, man. So Blair Witch Project. Somehow, my sister, she was coming of the age where she was like, "I'm gonna go and see scary movies," and I was like, "Okay, cool." So she decided, I'm gonna go with my brother. And keep in mind, this was like late '90s, so my sister would have been like 13, maybe 14. But she was like, I'm gonna go watch this movie because the viral marketing got her, right? And so we go to the theaters, and she's like, it was, I mean, you remember Blair Witch was huge when it first came out because of the marketing, but this was also like several weeks after it came out. I had already gone and seen it, so I went and saw it with her, and so she's like, I am brave, I'm gonna sit in the middle, and I was like, I'll just kind of sit off to the side and watch it. I've seen it. As the movie progressed, she kept moving and getting closer to me. Before it got about midway, she was sitting next to me in the theater. So we just kind of moved, and I was like, being the loving and studious big brother, I decided to take advantage of how scared she was of this movie. You guys would be either repulsed or proud that you remember the pine straw things that were hanging from the trees in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I made one of those. I hung it in a tree out in front of our house, right where the bus goes by. And the way I timed this, I was so mean. It was so bad. To this day, my sister just hates me for it. But let me tell you, I waited until like 2:00 in the morning, like a couple nights after. I waited a couple nights after, and I went outside her window in our house. It was clicking rocks together like they did in the movie.
Wow.
And I put on like a mask with a breather, so when she would look out the window, she would see a freaky face. And this poor girl, my mom had to tell me to stop because apparently she had went and borrowed 4 Bibles and put them in all 4 corners of her room because she was terrified to death. And then she was like, Kevin, I know you're having fun with her, but you got to stop because she's scared.
It's time to stop.
It was the funniest thing. And then up until like, I don't know, a few years after I moved out, I still had that hanging thing that I made because I was so proud of myself for making that. I did it with like a hula hoop and some other metal pieces and just put pine straw around it and hung it up. And kids coming around that you could tell the kids that had seen it.
Yeah.
Because they came around the corner with the bus and started screaming. It was so funny. And of course, at that time, I'm driving myself to school. So I would just stay a little bit longer just to see what the reaction for the kids was. Yeah. I was a bit of a turd. That was amazing. I loved that movie. I loved the reaction that people had and just being able to scare kids off the viral marketing. So
That's awesome.
yes, if my sister is listening, which I'm sure she's not, but if she ever listens to this, that was awesome.
That's That's
but I
great.
love you.
Seb said I watched Blair Witch at home on VHS. It was a movie.
Yeah.
You don't.
Exactly.
You didn't get the same effect unless you saw it in the theaters.
Yeah.
You had to see it in the theaters, and you had to see it like right after the viral marketing hit. Otherwise, it didn't work.
Yeah.
And then Shane says, "Was I the only one that laughed at the scene where the main character was crying and you were waiting for the snot to fall on the
Well,
camera?"
especially if you watch the scary movie version of it, where the snot
Yes.
was pouring out.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And Seb said, "My first actual horror movie I saw was Friday the 13th, Part 7 or Part 6. Jason Lives on VHS. I was 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first real one was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mhm.
Probably about the same age. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, the 80s were great for horror.
God, I'm glad
movies.
I don't know what made me think of Blair Witch, but I'm glad that I did. Man, that was
Yeah.
great.
No, man.
That's a great
it was
story. Oh.
huge.
I loved Blair Witch.
Yeah.
I was entranced by the marketing.
Well, especially since they made the film for like $50,000 or something.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
made like millions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should probably go back and watch it. I know Jess probably won't watch it. with me.
You're not gonna like it.
Probably not, especially since the mystique around it is ruined
Yeah.
Yeah.
now. But at the same time, the marketing was so good for that.
Hmm.
Well, just
Yeah.
watch it as a product of its time, rather than I remember
Yeah.
this being great. Just watch it for what it is.
That's what I do with most 80s shows now.
Yeah.
You go back and see, it was like,
Yeah.
a lot of them didn't age well.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? If I decide to do like a movie in the backyard for Halloween, I may just put Blair Witch Project on. So then some of these kids have never seen it. They'd be like, "What?"
Yeah, same Seb's. I've got the Nightmare on Elm Street DVD box set that came with the 3D glasses for Freddy's Dead. Lost my original pair from the theater.
Oh, that would
Same,
be awesome to still have them.
exact same situation. I still had that DVD box set back there in our media closet, and yeah, I lost my theater ones as well. And Shane said for Blair Witch, they did a reboot of a reboot. Yeah,
They remixed the remix and made it back normal.
yeah. So, hey, Seb, just looking through your Caldwell cosplay page, is this you as the Riddler from Magic City Con? Because if so, fantastic Riddler. Looks great. Go check that out. Caldwell Cosplay. It's both with K's.
Nice.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna show some love.
Yeah.
Do it, man.
You gotta see
Do
this
it.
Riddler.
It's Halloween. We gotta show good
Yeah.
costumes.
Fantastic Riddlers. Look at this
Yeah.
Ooh,
with
I like that a lot.
Constantine.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Nice.
it's like one of the last Magic City Cons, I think.
Which is coming back.
Yeah,
Magic City Con coming back next year.
can't wait for that. So, well, guys, we've gone almost an hour and a half with you here on the
Yeah.
stream tonight, and we really appreciate it. Any other final thoughts? So the plan for the next episode is I will watch. Oh, that's your oldest as Constantine. Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
great. Okay.
Very cool. I have yet to get my kids into costume to do anything with me. They did Ghostbusters when they were little, but that was as far as they went. They haven't done anything with me recently. Granted, I haven't done anything recently. So Little Shop of Horrors, I'm going to watch before the next episode.
Hmm.
And what else?
We're going to see Phantom.
Yeah.
Phantom of the Opera at Alabama Theater
That's right.
on the same day that we record. So
October 27th. Look up a couple of episodes ago with Gary Jones from the Alabama Theater. That's got all the links and everything. To get tickets for that, October 27th, 2:00 in the afternoon, I
Yes.
believe, at the Alabama Theater downtown Birmingham. You don't want to miss it. It's such a treat, and we can't wait. We were actually we're getting my daughter to go with us. She's actually agreed to it.
Mhm.
So
the Lon Chaney
original.
one. Shane.
yeah, the original Shane.
Mhm.
1925, right?
20 yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Seb says which 60 no that's
The only one
we-
that matters. The one with Rick
The
Moranis.
Yeah.
Frank Oz one.
Brock's only
Yes.
seen the
one with Jack
1960s version one. He's never seen the 80s. We're
yeah.
gonna fix that.
Yeah, the 60s ones was terrible.
Mhm.
It was not good acting. But yeah, I'm finally gonna see the Rick Moranis one. I don't know why I've never seen it, but
Yeah.
But all right, so we'll talk about those two. The Phantom of the Opera experience at the Alabama Theater will be fresh on our minds because we'll be out of there around 4, and we'll record and come back live 4 hours after that. So
Shane says not the one with Gerard Butler. No, not the one with Gerard Butler.
no, not
We're not
the
doing
musical.
that.
And not the Andrew Lloyd Webber one, according to
No.
Gary too. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the Gerard Butler one.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, I know, but Gary was telling the story, people thought they were going to actually see like the Andrew Lloyd Webber Phantom production at the Alabama Theater.
Yeah.
So,
Man, you should. If you guys haven't watched that episode, you should go back and hear Gary tearing a hole in that over the Andrew Lloyd Webber
Watch it for
stuff.
Gary in general. It's-
Oh my God, Gary's
Yeah.
so awesome.
We can't wait to see Gary in a couple of weeks. My gosh, cannot wait. He's going to be so much fun at the Phantom. But hopefully we'll see you there too. We're going to all 4 of us, I believe, are planning on being there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's going to be fun.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll have my daughter, and it's going to be fun. So, Shane said the set designer for the Butler Phantom was a bit too lonely. All right.
It was a movie.
Oh man. Well, we're going to wrap it up. We thank you guys so much for being here with us. Again, for social media, if you want to find us anywhere where you're at Bama Geeks, just look us up on all the platforms that you peruse, all the major ones, not the little, lesser known ones, whatever they are. But you can join us on Facebook in our private group, the Bama Geeks Front Porch on Facebook. Just type that in, ask to join, and we'll let you right in. And if you want to support the podcast and our streaming endeavors, you can do that. Patreon.com/Bama Geeks. $5 a month will get you access to our Discord, which needs some help. But we also do bonus episodes. We recorded one right before this one. We always try to do a bonus episode for our Patreon members. $5 a month. Patreon.com/Bama Geeks. Or if you want to hit that join button below this video, we've got a 99-cent per month that'll get you some little emojis and emotes and stuff like that, and then a $4.99 a month, which will get you everything that's included with the Patreon bonus. No obligation to do that whatsoever. No
None
matter
whatsoever.
what, we just appreciate you being here.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to support us in any way, shape, or form, that's how you do it: Patreon, or join us on YouTube. So that just is a whole bunch of words there, Bo.
Yeah. Well, I did the emojis there, but unfortunately, StreamYard's translation to that didn't.
Whoa.
Yeah, look at those on YouTube, not on. Yeah, looking at it on StreamYard, that's what we see. I'm like,
Oh, yeah. I see that now. Okay. Yeah.
What are those? So, but yeah, we love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back again in a couple of weeks. We'll review Phantom of the Opera. We'll talk about The Little Shop of Horrors after I finally get a chance to see it. But yeah, that's it for Kevin and Bo and Jessica. I'm Brock. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being a part of us. Thank you so much for joining in the chat. And we will see you guys hopefully in a couple weeks. Come back and see us now. You hear?
Thank you.